Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me for this live pop-up trading session. Let's jump right into this and let's talk about the markets really quickly. Looks like we have an up market again today with the NASDAQ leading the way. It was basically flat until about an hour ago. Thing has changed on the NASDAQ. It's up almost 1%. The Russell is the lagger today with down a little over 0.5%. It was down almost 23, 24 points or something like that before, so it's come off its lows. But it looks like the overall feel of the market is definitely positive. So I wanted to point out a few trade ideas that was sent over via email, and then I want to actually put on a trade. So we have two different demonstration accounts. We have this TastyWorks account that you can see here. This is the account that we do all type of trades in. We do some micro futures, we do some pairs trades, we do some earnings trades, we do different type of strategies and so forth in this account. And then in this Thinkorswim account, we do just only one strategy, and that's selling premium on indexes like the futures indexes, the NQ, the ES, the RTY, or the cash settled indexes or the ETF indexes, trying to have very few or almost no adjustments so that it can just be a clean type of follow. When you follow, learn, and earn in this type of process. I love this type of trading because it's no thrills, it's no excitement, it's just winning at a very high rate, and it's easy for people to do that's new, and it's easy for people who are struggling to be consistent on their trading to go back to stop everything and go back to a real simple play that you don't have to deal with earnings. You don't have to deal with a CEO going crazy, and that affects the stock. You're literally just trading the indexes, and you plan the probabilities, doing no upside risk trades, meaning that you don't have any risk to the upside, even though you're selling the call side, doing put spreads and hedging those, doing put spreads with short delta, and we'll do a trade similar to that this afternoon. But keep that in mind. This is the type of trading we're doing in this account. All right, so let's jump in and let's talk about some of the trade ideas that we sent over this afternoon or this morning. We have, looking at the RTY, and let's bring up the chart here. You can see that RTY is down today, but it's for the most part, just like everything else, has an upward drift. The trend is definitely up. So in this case, I was looking to the first trade idea that I sent over this morning was doing a short put spread with some short delta in the RTY with 22 days to go. So if we go over here in this account, you can see that's the only trade that we have on in this account to this point is that trade. And so I'm looking to do that trade again. I wanted to do a trade like that in the NASDAQ when it was somewhat flat, but it's not. So I'm going to do this trade again. Actually, for demonstration purposes, let's look to do a trade with a little shorter date to expiration, days to expiration. So I like that RTY trade. It is, let me just show this real quick. It is selling, go over here. It's selling two of the put spreads, and then it's buying one put spread right here. So it is you get some short delta component. If it lands somewhere in between this short strike and this short strike, you actually can make more than the credit you receive. So we love these type of trades because if the market goes down, it's going to allow you to hold this longer because you have that short put spread component to it. All right, so looking at this, I believe the NASDAQ is going to go to 14,000. It kind of feels that way. It's got a lot of momentum again. It kind of paused for a little bit. Now it looks like it's going to go to the 14,000. I would love to do a no upside risk trade in there And let's see, excuse me, a short put spread with short delta trade. So I'm going to look to this 15 days here. And what I'm going to do on this one, and this was not one of the trades that I sent over this morning, but let's look at it now really quickly. We have I'm going to go to this 30 delta here. I'm going to buy this 30 delta in this Thinkorswim account, and then I'm going to sell 10 points lower. If I can get this to work here. For some reason, the bandwidth when I'm doing this on Thinkorswim, when I have GoToMeeting on, some reason it does not. It kind of slows down for some particular reason. So I try to have as little stuff on as possible. But anyway, and let's sell this 15 delta here, and then let's buy 60 points lower. So that would be, that's the 70. So to be here, the 12, 5, 10. And we're going to make this a custom. You can do this all as one trade on the Thinkorswim platform. We're going to make this a custom. And so what we're selling, we're going to sell 2 of these, and we're going to buy 2 of these. All right, so now you can see that we're getting a credit for this. And this is how the trade looks. We get 140, 58 on it with a buying power effect of 705. I'm going to put this in a little differently. I'm going to put it in a little higher and see if this price is correct. Sometimes this Thinkorswim platform has been a little off, so I'm going to put it in a little higher and then let it come to me, excuse me, and see if that price is correct, and then we'll send it. So this is going to be put in at 850. 160 is what we'll get if that price is correct. We're going to send that, and then we're going to, so you see we just got filled, so maybe we got robbed anyway, right? And I don't know why that's been the case with the Thinkorswim platform, but you can see that we just did that trade, and let me see if I can get this to show correctly. So this is the trade that we just did. We put it in at 850. They actually gave us 875. So I don't know, that makes me think that might not have been the right price anyway. Maybe we were like $2 short or something, but let's see. All right, so it's giving us a decent price there for right now, and we'll let that play out. So if you want to do that trade, you see we did it for a credit with the possibility of making more. So let me bring that trade up really quickly on the TastyWorks platform, so we can kind of see the breakdown of it a little better. If you want to do that trade, we're 15 days to go. Let me see if it's on here on the Thinkorswim on the TastyWorks platform. 15 days to go, and let me see. We were buying the 13,030. So we're buying the 13,030 here. I'm just going to bring this up really quickly for everyone. Buying the 13,030, selling the 13,020, and then we were going down to the put side. I believe it was the 570. Let me just double check that really quickly. We bought the, excuse me, sold the 570, bought the 510. So I'm going to go over there. We sold this here, and then we bought 60 points lower, which was here, and then we did 2 of these. So you'll see. And so yeah, we got robbed a little bit, right? We got 875. The price is going for 925. But you know, that's the nature of the game here with that Thinkorswim platform. Sometime with the options on futures, do not see that problem on the options on stock with Thinkorswim. But if we look at this graph, this curve view here, you'll see. Let me see if I can get this to show smaller for us. For some reason, haven't been able to get this to work recently for some particular reason. Let's go like that. That is just retarded. Excuse my language. All right, so just want to show you this because I can't get it to get smaller for some particular reason without it showing. All right, so there we go. Perfect. All right, so, well, it's not perfect, but this is not working at all. Anyway, I don't want to waste a bunch of time doing this thing. All right, this is how I want to look. It was all set up wrong. All right, so perfect. So this is the at the money line right here. You can tell if you do something, if it goes up, you win all the time. If it goes down, you can make your most right here. So this is a net credit trade that you can actually make more than the credit you receive. So you receive 180 here before fees and commissions, and you can actually make up to 385 if it falls in between your two short strikes here. But this is a bullish strategy. You want it to go up, but it's just got the short delta component to it. All right, so love that type of trade with this. And this, once again, these are very, very high probability trades. The market has a tendency to go up about 52, 53% of the time, obviously more than that recently over the last year. But historically it's about 52, 53% of the time. And then you have the probabilities on your side, and you have that short delta component in it. And then if you have to make an adjustment, you can adjust it a big way by adding the opposite side to pay for what we call the full rollaways. All right, so that is that trade. Looking at some trade ideas that we were doing last night for some of the trades that we were looking at, the electric vehicle type of market. This is one that we were looking at yesterday, and I'm going to go to 29 days to go. And what I'm looking at here is selling a naked put here, and this is based on if you want to potentially own this long term and sell some covered calls against it if you want to. But this is, you would bring it in at around the 555 level, and you sell this. It's going to, your max loss if it goes to zero is about 1600, just under 1600. The buying power effect to be able to do this type of naked put on this electric storage company would cost would be about 954. If we look at the chart on this, it's basically flat today, but if we go and look at the chart that we were doing the other day, what is this? 1 second, RMO, and you can see that it had the crazy move up, and then it's had just as much as a crazy move down for the most part, right? So maybe it's consolidating here. It's had a very uneventful day today, so we'll see how this continues to play out. If you wanted to do something like this for a long-term type of trade, playing the electric car market. All right, the next thing we were looking at is Blink. Blink is this. It's the same type of field. We were looking at this last night, and you can see this chart is very similar to the one we just noticed, except the fall has been a lot less steep. So going over to Blink, we do it on this platform here, on the Thinkorswim platform, and looking at 29 days to go, just selling a basic put spread in this. I really like this based when I was looking at it earlier, selling the 35, buying the 30. It's a 5-point wide spread. I would do this for at least 103, so you can get, and that's what it's trading at right now, the mid, so you can get at least the you can get at least $100 before fees, after fees and commissions. So this is a really nice trade. So we're going to put in a couple of these. We're going to put in maybe one or two, and whichever, or at least two, and see whichever one we get filled at. So I'm going to send this at 104 for a second and see what happens if we get filled. That's an 18 delta, like I talked about. Primarily, we don't trade higher than a 15 delta, but sometimes we will on these options on stock. And so I'm kind of bullish on this for right now. So that's why I put it in it there. I'm going to let that sit for a second, and then we're going to put in another trade and see how that plays out. So let's see. We have another example trade that I gave this one. It's a biotech company. We've recommended this several times in the past. You can see that this has dropped dramatically over the last few days. So you can see that's the 4 straight down days. So this could be a decent time to play this on the long side, doing something that's bullish. On the trade ideas that we emailed out, we were doing a bullish trade in it with 15 days to go. And the reason why we chose 15 days is because of earnings. This is the reason why we use this account to only do indexes and so forth, so we do not have to deal with earnings. So if we go over here, this is an earnings play, but we're going to do 15 days so we can be in and out of it before the earnings come out. So Looking at this one here, selling the 162.5. That's about a 17 delta just outside of the expected move. It's a 17 delta now, and then buying the 155. So you can see that this is not bad. You're getting 170. That's the mid over 580. So it's obviously has been going down a little bit recently. And you got 15 days to see how it works out, right? You're only playing one side. So let me just put this in right here. Let me put this in a little higher and see if they would give it to us at like 180. If they give it to us at 180, I will take it and we'll play this for the next 15 days. All right, so I'm sending that and that's working. The mid right now is saying 170. This is still stuck at 103. So we're gonna go now. We're gonna go and look at a couple other things. This next trade is a highlighted trade that I recommend. I really like Netflix long term. You know that we played Netflix. It took us a while, but most of us made 80 to 90%, if not a little higher, on the trade that we did in Netflix. We never had to adjust it. We were threatened a little bit, but never had to adjust it, and we made some decent money on it. Netflix is pulling back from its high of yesterday after having some amazing earnings. And you can see the Nasdaq is up, and then Netflix is not participating with that today. But I still like this, and earnings has already came, like we just said. So looking at 36 days here, trying to give you different expiration periods to look at. And so going here at the 520, and this is one of the yellow follow, learn, and earn trades that we recommend. Really like this one. Selling the 520, buying the 512.5, and you can see doing this for at least, I was looking at it this morning, for about 135. I still like the 112 because you're getting at least $100 after fees and commissions. But let's see what this looks like if we put it in at 121, see if they'll fill us at that. If they do, I love it all day. So I'm going to send that here, and it's jumping around. We might get filled on that. We'll see. We're going to get filled on one of these before we leave, before we get out of off the call. The next thing I was looking at through the trade ideas that I was giving out is Amazon. I believe when I looked at it earlier, Amazon was up quite a bit, but this is somewhat of a earnings play type of thing for Amazon before the earnings come out. So you can see Amazon has been in a really nice little iron condor range for a while now. It's just jumped up the last 2 days. You see those two candlesticks there? They're just jumped out the last 2 days. And now going over here, looking at the trade idea, going to AMZN, and then going to 8 days to go to expiration on this. You can see I got the trade up already. I was looking at it earlier, and this right here is a broken wing butterfly that I have up. The butterfly is 1, 2, and then 1. So 1 contract, 2 contracts, and then another 1 contract. This is a broken wing butterfly for a credit. You can see that the credit that you receive is $123. That's the mid right now. The max profit that you can make is about $623. If it falls right here, the probabilities of that are not high, but you can make more than what you receive here, and you're getting more than 12% on your buying power to do this. All right, so I like this trade as well. On Amazon with 8 days to go, I do not feel it's going back down to the 3180 at this point. So let's see, that's 123. Let's see what this looks like here. That's $18. It's going to be only 8 days. So let's put this in and see if we get what we get filled at here. So we send in that and see if they'll fill us at that with the short strike being around the 16 delta there. So we put on all of those trades so far. Nothing has filled because we did not put at the mid. The last trade that I have that I really like, this is a long dated trade, a bionic bull. This is the strategy that Ernie has created that I absolutely has fallen in love with. And because you can have the best of both worlds, you can do something for credit but have unlimited upside. So that's pretty cool. So this is the Ford. This is playing that electric vehicle type of field, betting that Ford is going to be a real player in it as well. So 148 days out, what we're looking at here, and doing a bionic bull in this way by buying the 12 delta, 12 strike, and then selling the 12 strike, and doing that for credit. So you can see that you can get $47 at the mid there, and it's the buying power is going to be insignificant. If it goes to zero, you'll lose about 1152. None of us believe Ford is going to zero. But if you have to take ownership of these shares in the next 142 days, you'll take ownership at the 12, with the cost basis around 1150. So I really like this, and it's a long-term type of play. Well, not super long, but longer than we normally suggest. And the buying power effect is not going to be a lot, meaning that you're only holding up about 370 initially. This could change. It could be dynamic because this is a naked put. So if it shoots down, then it could require a little bit more, but it can't shoot too much down, right? It's not gonna require too much more. If it went to 9, that's not a big difference in buying power. So, all right, so let's open it up for any questions, because as you know, if you're new to this live trading, you can always interrupt me. Don't want you to just sit there if you have a question and wait till I'm done, because sometimes I can just yap for longer than I should. So if you have any questions, please unmute your mic at any time and let me know. Do we have any questions at this point about anything that we just went over?
This is Anthony. I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, it's related more to I think it's a butterfly you did on Amazon, and I've always been I've always heard like earnings. Once the stock has earnings, you don't trade it till the earnings have passed or something along those lines. But what you're saying is that, or it implies is that if your trade is before the earnings, then that's fine. Or I'm curious about that.
Yes, that is 100% correct, right? So I wouldn't play it. I would play it unless it's an actual earnings play, right? You're playing the earnings, then I would wait until after earnings, or I would put the trade in before earnings come out. So in this case, you can see that earnings are coming out on February 2nd. So this expires in January 29th. So this is going to be done before those earnings. And if Amazon is going to drift up before earnings, then that play that broken wing butterfly is going to benefit from that, and we're going to win, and you're out of the trade. And then let's just say you're bullish on Amazon, but after earnings the market it drops for some particular reason, then you can go back in and play with it, and then don't have to deal with the binary type of situation that earnings prevents or provides. Okay. All right, so that's my thought process on that, Anthony. I will, every time I recommend an option or an options on stock type of position, I'm thinking about the earnings now and trying to prevent having to deal with an earnings play, unless we dedicate or say that it's an earnings play. But in this case, it's not. We're just playing the drift before the earnings, and we're going to try to get out of that. And I'm going to try to get out of that, depending, worst case scenario. I mean, best case scenario, I'm going to try to get out at 50%. But I just say it jumps up quite a bit before. Let's say tomorrow I make 30% on it or something like that, then I'm getting out of it. If you make a lot of what you're trying to make in a very short period of time, you should ring the register. Don't hold things to expiration. You should hardly ever, I'm never going to say never, but it should be close to never holding something to expiration. All right, so any other questions before we conclude this live trading session? And I'm going to look to fill one of these. Based on all these trades that we looked at, which trade would do you guys think I should get filled? out of these ones that we have here. We have this Amazon one, we have this Netflix one, we have this biotech one, we have this car charger, electric market type of one, and this right here is one that I already got filled, so we're going to disregard that. This is something I want to get filled in. It was a hedge. I should probably look at that again, because I was trying to get some stuff that the market going down in the micro futures there. But anyone has an opinion on which one they would want, what they would do?
Well, O'Brien, this is David. I was wondering, do you think that Blink would be good for me? I just closed my Airbnb after just one day and $52 profit.
Love it, David, love it. I think on that one, David, I love that trade, but this can be so speculative, and I want you to continue to be super successful at it. And if you have to roll it, I want to feel like it's not going to fall a lot, right? And this could fall a lot, that Blink one.
Yeah, this is really new to us.
Correct. So, but with that said, I'm going with Ernie, who talked about it last night. This company got like 200 million in additional funding. It's a smaller firm, but and it's only a 5-point wide spread, David. So yeah, you can knock that one out. Is that the one you guys want to see me do? And I'm surprised it's not filled yet. All right, so what we're gonna do then, I'm going to I really like that Amazon one with just a few days to go, that broken wing butterfly. So, and I like this one. I'm gonna put it at the mid. I'm gonna put this at what it was at. The mid is saying 104, or it's gonna be 105 now, but I'm gonna put it at 103. I mean, like 29 days, but anyway, we'll do it anyway. $100, see if we get filled. All right, so we got filled. So we're not gonna we're gonna cancel this. I really like this Netflix one. We'll cancel that one, and we'll cancel this one. And then I'm going to cancel. And then this Amazon one, it's such a short period of time. I really like this one. I'm gonna replace the order here, and the mid right there is 116. I'm gonna bring it to 120 and see if that will work. And it's just jumped up a little bit more. And so I'm gonna give it about 10 minutes. And if it doesn't fill in the next 10 minutes, I'm just gonna remove it, everyone. I'll let you know in the Telegram messaging area if I get filled on that. But this is the trade now. So David, if you want to do this, we are in this together. I could have waited for it to come to me a little bit, but I did not. But that's fine. I wanted to get this filled in this account so far.